Well, hello again. Welcome back again. That screw, you'll remember from the last video, I said was frozen in and I was going to have to soak it in liquid wrench, which I have done. I have soaked it for a couple of days now and it still does not want to come loose. I can't believe it. So I'm at a crossroads. I've got to get that thing out of there so I can work on this support frame here. So what do? Well, I don't have any choice. I'm going to have to apply heat to it. Now I'm going to try not to apply the heat from the top, because it wouldn't affect the transformer, because this bracket here, this bracket goes over the top of the transformer and down. The screw goes through it, and then it creates the leg to support the transformer. I'm going to try to heat it from below. I just don't have a choice. I got to get that thing broken loose. So let's take a look at it from underneath here. I'll have to heat it right there where that screw comes through. If I heat it good enough, it won't affect the transformer. I'm not going to just go bananas like I said. We don't go bananas on any of this stuff. I'm going to try to heat that enough to where it'll break loose. Just one thing after. I can't believe it, but I disassembled this entire thing and that one screw does not want to cooperate. Such is life in the antique radio fast lane. Well, here we go. We're going to go ahead and heat that thing. I just don't have a choice. I'm going to try not to heat it till it's glowing red. I just want to heat it enough to break it loose. Well, continually heating it from the bottom. Finally cracked her loose. Well, I had to be real careful. It'll be just my luck now. The windings inside this thing will be open. Oh, the last thing I need. We'll fix it. Alright, I'm glad. Finally. Yeah. I cannot understand why that thing held on like that. Look at that. I mean, it's just like it was welded in there or something. I don't know. Really weird. Oh well, let's get our transformer off of here. Took a little paint off of it, but that's about it. We'll go ahead and get her cleaned up now. Now there is one more thing we have to deal with. This speaker is the Model 30. However, the speaker itself is the Model D110. The completed speaker is the Model 30, but the speaker itself is a D110. And I've got to get this thing off of here. This is an aluminum little plate. I have to get that thing off of there before I can strip this thing and do everything else that I need to do to it. So let's see what the backside has to offer. Let me see here. Well, what they've got here is they've hammered over some rivets. And these are soft aluminum, easy to deal with. I could just grind the tops off, and then just punch them on through, which is, might be the way I'll wind up handling it anyway. I'd like to try something else that I have done in the past. Take a pair of dikes. You can put your dikes nice and flat and tight down against the black surface or the metal surface, and get a hold of the edge of that thing and kind of squeeze it together. It takes a lot of downward pressure with one hand while you're squeezing with the other, and kind of work your way around. And what you do is you wind up squishing that thing to a point. In other words, you bring the lip all the way around into the center, and then the rivet will push down through the hole. And that way, when you push it back up through, when you're all done, you can do a little bit. You got a little bit of metal there, soft metal there. You can tap and sort of create the same kind of attachment that you have right here, the rivet being banged down. May or may not work, I don't know. The second option we have, plan B, of course, is always a plan B. We take the needle nose and do the same basic thing. Easy to get a hold of. Just a matter of squishing it all in toward the center. So let's see. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. If we can get it all squished in toward the center, right about where that hole is, we might be able to shove it down through there. Let's give it the old college try. Well, surprise, surprise, another surprise. That is not soft aluminum. That is hard metal. In a couple of seconds, I'm going to take the old Black & Decker rotary tool here. I've got a grinding stone in it, a round one. I'm going to try to grind off the tops of each of these little rivets. Kind of gentle like. I don't want to grind any of the metal, the black metal. Just enough to where maybe I can peel that ring off and push the rivet out from this side. I don't want to get on the other side and start prying on that aluminum label. No, you never do that. Once you bend that label, you'll never get it back in flat again, ever. It will never look the same. So you have to work from this side. Very important. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and take all these. I've separated out all the old nasty lock washers I told you never to use again. We don't want to ever use that crap. It's just junk. And we're going to take all the rusty screws and everything. Now that we've de-rusted those brackets, we can go ahead and throw everything in here like this and just let it soak. You know, I don't know, as long as you want, it doesn't matter. Evapor rust is really good about that. It just gets rid of the rust, and the rest it just leaves alone. You can sit in there for 2-3 days. It won't make any difference. So we'll get all that in there and put the lid on it, and then we'll start grinding. Also, this rubber bushing right here, where the power cord comes through, that's got to be that got burned a little bit when I did. It doesn't matter anyway, it was hard as a rock, so we need to get a new one of those. So I'll go ahead and remove that too. There's an old saying that says when you're cutting a board, measure twice, cut once. Well, when you're working on old radios, the basic same philosophy applies, only it's think twice and act once. You know, the old grinding stone, the more I kept thinking about that, and yeah, it would work. It would be very tedious and very slow, but there might be a faster, better, more efficient way. And what I'm going to do is, we're going to try plan B. Try plan B without even trying plan 1. I'm going to go ahead and take this gold drill bit right here, and I'm going to drill the top off of that thing very slowly with my drill. Very slow, very easy, even though that's not aluminum. I wish it had been aluminum. It would have been real easy to drill, but I just want to put the drill bit down in there enough to get it loose to where that thing maybe will spin a little bit. And same thing over here, and then I can go ahead and punch the rivets out from this side. So let's see how that works. Now here's the idea. I don't want to drill down deep. I want to have enough rivet left that it'll come back up through the metal and be flush with this side after I get done, painting this thing and de-rusting it and everything, because I want to use that rivet. I'm going to put a little glue in the hole on each side. At least this is the plan right now. And then when I push the rivets up through, the glue will hold them in. But if I drill it down too deep and I don't have enough rivet stub, then I'll just have to, cement the plate on from the other side using the back of the plate itself. I'm not sure that's such a hot idea, but let's see what I can do. Here we go. You have to drill very, very slow and be very, very careful. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to take my time until I get down there. No sense in running it fast. I've drilled it down to where the lowest part of the rivet is just about flush with the metal. Now if I keep drilling using the same drill bit, it's going to go down below the metal. Yeah, I'll wind up getting rid of this ridge, but the hole in the center will be down below the surface of the metal too far. So I have to change drill bits and put a larger one in there that'll knock off this ridge. Okay, I'm going to use this larger one here. Let me see if I can get it in the camera here. Yeah, I'm going to use this larger. By the way, when you do this sort of thing, don't use a dull drill bit. Get something sharp. If you don't have anything that's sharp, then go buy one. They're not that expensive. Now hopefully I'll be able to just drill this down in there and knock off that ridge without going into the metal. Okay? Alright, here goes. Alright, she's getting there, slow but sure. That's what I'm going to be doing until I finally get it down to where it's even with that metal. Now one thing to remember if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to do this sort of thing, if it winds up going into the metal area with the drill bit, I mean, you try your very, very best and you wind up, taking out a little bit of the metal by accident, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can, okay? Alright, the last thing, looks like I got them drilled both about the right size. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little narrow screwdriver that I have and put it right down in there, and I'm going to tap the back of it with my hammer. Not hard, just a little tap, and those rivets should go right on through. Hopefully. Well, it appears that plan B has worked. The screwdriver just tapped, just a couple of slight taps, and it took it right on through, right on down in there. Now let's see what the other side looks like. Hopefully the plate was not damaged. Oh, look at there. Look at there. It's all the way out. It looks like I drilled just a touch too much on that one side. That's alright. Not too bad. And here's our plate. Perfect condition. No dents. And here's our rivets that I hope to be able to use to put it back on with. Pretty neat. Anyway, that's that. That's how I do it. You know, there must probably a million ways to do it, but the whole idea here, I wasn't really that much concerned about the rivets. I just didn't want to damage this plate. Now if I have to, I can just glue it back on without even using the rivets, although I would like to put the rivets in so it gives it that finished look when we're done. Well, that's about it for today. Again, we got more rain in Arkansas last night. It's done nothing for days on end, but rain, rain, rain. I can't really work out in the yard. I can't do anything. The place is a mud hole. But I might be able to get out in the shop and do a little work, put up a couple pieces of wood. And the temperature dropped down to 30-some degrees last night for some crazy reason. It's only 39 right now. So when it warms up a few more degrees, I'll head out to the shop and see if I'm in the mood to put up some wood. Anyway, that's it. Until next time. By the way, old Radio Al, I know you're out there watching. Chime in once in a while, boy. You cannot be a missing in action person anymore. It's time for you to get with the program. Let's get another video up there. Old Phil over there in England, you know, Steel City, he's back in there. He's back in action, at least saying hello. We need you to do the same. Anybody else missing in action, let's chime back in, okay? Until next time, this is John.